Happy Thanksgiving from the Liquid Trucking Podcast. That's right, episode 104, about to kick off here, and it's a Thanksgiving special. We're going to be talking to drivers about cooking in the cab, cooking at home, all their favorite stories and traditions. And got me thinking a little bit here. Have you guys ever tried to barter anything at the truck stop? You know, I figure this time of year, a nice pack of King's Hawaiian rolls will get you, hot stuffing, right? Easy mashed potatoes with gravy. Look, I'm just telling you, if you're out there along the road, go out loaded, okay? Because if you show up and somebody's got extra potatoes and you don't need 48 King's Hawaiian rolls, swap it out, man. It seems like a really good system. And also, let's be honest here, something else I've been thinking about. You know, the Pilgrims, they didn't have GPS. Well, they did. It was God's positioning system. They were wherever they were supposed to be. They didn't have ELDs either, no way stations. The biggest supply chain issue out there was flat-bottom canoe. Meanwhile, you're out here dodging four-wheelers in a blizzard trying to make your 70 hours. That's just what Thanksgiving is for truck drivers. So this Thanksgiving, we're giving thanks to the real pioneers, the drivers keeping the gravy flowing across America, and we're doing it right here on episode 104 of the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Welcome to the gold standard of podcasts for the gold standard of drivers. This is the Liquid Trucking Podcast with your host, Marcus Bridges.
What's good out there, Liquid Trucking, and welcome in to episode 104 of the Liquid Trucking Podcast. It is our Thanksgiving edition of the pod here, and we're very fat and happy today, like we should be on Thanksgiving. And we're going to do Thanksgiving the Liquid Trucking Podcast way here. I've got 3 drivers joining me here in just a little bit. We're going to talk about cooking in the cab. We're going to talk about cooking at home. We're going to talk about all their favorite traditions, tell stories, and at the end of the show, as I do every single year, I will be sharing one of my recipes with you that will be absolutely 100% in the cab friendly. So if you're out there on the road for Thanksgiving, it's pretty simple. We're going to be there with you. And you know what? I always tell the drivers when I reach out to you guys, too, if you've got any messages for your families, this is the perfect place for them. And we do a lot of holiday-themed episodes each and every year. We've always got one for Thanksgiving. We've always got Christmas and New Year's. So be thinking about that. If you want to take this chance to jump on the podcast for your first time and wish your family some happy tidings in these holiday seasons, well, guess what? I can throw you 25,000 Drive for Gold points, which is a pretty nice little chunk of points to spend at the store there. So if you've never made an appearance on the show here before, all you got to do is come on, and those Drive for Gold points are yours. So be thinking about it, because this is one of 3 holiday episodes that we've got coming up here over the next couple of months, and we love to welcome as many drivers as we can. I'll even blow the time format right out of the water here. I will nuke the time format. If I had 70 drivers lined up that wanted to come on and say something to their families and just chat with me a little bit about the holidays, man, I'm telling you, I'll be dealing out points like nobody's business. And nobody's sneaking in here trying to get points twice either, okay? Because actually haven't had anybody do that. You guys have all been very honest, Abe, about this whole thing, so I don't even know why I'm bringing that up. I don't foresee that being a problem. But what I do see being a problem is you haven't been on this show before, and I would love to have you on. So podcast@liquidtrucking.com is the email address if you want to get a hold of me. If you know any of the drivers that come on this show frequently, they've all got my phone number, and they will happily give it to you so that you can get in touch with me, shoot me a text, give me a call. I'm always available, and if I'm not, I will get back to you. The point is getting as many of you drivers here on the show as want to be involved. And I know there's a list of you out there that haven't been on but are interested. I highly recommend you send me an email. Once again, podcast@liquidtrucking.com. Just a little tiny bit more homework here today. Let's talk about the podcast website. Of course, podcast.liquidtrucking.com. Very similar to the email address there. You can go there for all the episode information. If you're new here to the Liquid Trucking Podcast and the Thanksgiving episode is the first one you've listened to, I highly recommend you checking out the website because while all the other platforms, Spotify and Apple and all the rest of the places you can find the Liquid Trucking Podcast are great in their own right. They all do something good. Our website does all of those things, and they do them great because we got a guy named Tyler who works his ass off, and he's really good at his job setting up that site for you. So head over there. I'll tell you right now, again, this is a mind-blowing stat for a podcaster. 80% of you listen to the podcast from that website. That's amazing. People don't get podcasts from websites. They get them from podcast platforms like Spotify. You guys have showed us that you love that website, and because of that, we are going to keep putting work into it. In fact, right now, you can go and check out all of the jerseys that Jake Debo and I drafted as our favorite all-time NFL hockey sweaters. It's the second time here on this podcast I've called a hockey sweater a jersey, and I'm going to get cross-checked in the teeth for it, all right? I'm going to need some bridge work, I can tell. But that's the type of stuff we'll put on there. Photo galleries, there's some metrics up there where you drivers can pit yourselves against each other, check out your numbers, see how you're stacking up against the rest of the guys. You can get merch there, and of course, every single podcast episode and the details, as well as who's on it and what we're talking about, is right there on a silver platter for you. Maybe not a silver platter, maybe more of mom's china, like the really nice stuff that only comes out a couple of times a year. It's Thanksgiving. You know that platter's coming out, and by God, don't put it in the dishwasher. Trust me, it's not worth the issues that it causes the day after Thanksgiving, and then the issues that it'll re-cause at Christmas because everybody will have to talk about how your dumbass put the china in the dishwasher. Okay, that's about all the time we've got for homework today. Glad to have you here for our Thanksgiving special. I'm feeling incredibly festive. Love this time of year. You got football, you got food. I'll be honest with you, I'm a Christmas guy, okay? So expect things to be getting rather festive here in the coming weeks. But I don't balk at Thanksgiving either. Thanksgiving is a business trip for me, okay? I'm like a football team for Thanksgiving. Wherever I'm going, I'm getting a good night's sleep the night before. I'm waking up early the day of. I might even get a little exercise in before I sit down for a plate, okay? I don't mess around with Thanksgiving. We don't mess around with it here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast either. We're taking it seriously and welcoming in 3 drivers to chat about it right now. All right, welcome back in here to the Liquid Trucking Podcast. Sort of an interesting dynamic here today. I had 3 drivers lined up to join us, and one of our drivers, Mr. Sam Walker, had a little bit of a hiccup in his schedule today. Truck broke down. He just got to his delivery, and he's going to call in and join us here shortly. So we will have a 3rd driver join us in the middle of this interview, and I would like to welcome the 2 that are here right now. First off, I got the man behind the grill at the Jamboree. Could not do a food-themed episode without calling this gentleman up. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Matt Kleich. Thanks for joining us today, sir.
Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody else out there. It's good to be here.
Appreciate your time as always. Also joining us, Mr. Mikal Duncan Donut. Happy Thanksgiving, man. Always good to have you here as well. I know you like your time knocking around in the kitchen. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, cooking's kind of my thing.
Yeah, you two guys are high up on the list when it comes time to talk food, and you know what? Let's just kick it off there. What are you guys' Thanksgivings looking like this year? Who are you getting to spend it with? Are you going to be on the road or at home? And what are you making, Matt? Starting with you here.
Well, my mom has recently started a new tradition, and they live in a small town, so they rent the local hall, and the whole family gathers right there at the hall. It keeps it easy. Traditional Thanksgiving is what my mom's been doing.
Okay.
Traditionally, the turkey, the ham, the yams with the marshmallows, the whole 9.
And how many?
Anything that you can think is traditional.
Sure. How many people is she cooking for?
We do about 40.
Wow.
The whole family shows up.
Wow.
Yep.
And what's going to be your part in that? Because I understand, when it comes to tradition and Thanksgiving, I will have to pull the serving platters out of my mom's cold dead fingers. She loves making food, and it doesn't matter for how many people. It's a very important thing for her. How much do you get your fingers in the cooking there, Matt? Because you're definitely skilled. You've got all of the how-to knowledge, but does she let you get in on it, or does she kind of manage it on her own?
Nope. One of the big things is my brother, my sister, and I, we all get together. Our significant others, my brother and sister are both married. I'm not, but we all have our significant others, and we all kick in. Everybody kicks in. My brother's doing one of the fried turkeys. My mom's doing a traditional turkey. My dad does the ham. This year we got volunteered to do the mashed potatoes. Okay. Everybody's got something to do. It's a lot of fun, and it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. We eat at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I bet you don't drink any whiskey at that gathering at all, do you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Well, if whiskey comes in a 12-pack, yes, I do.
I'm sure there's somebody that'll sell you 12 of them. I don't know.
Yep. My dad and I, we never miss a beat.
I harken back to right after I turned 21. I had never really been in a liquor store before because out here in Oregon, I don't know, how it is where you guys are at, but they can't sell liquor in a normal store in Oregon. You have to go to a liquor store to buy hard alcohol. And we were throwing a party, and I walked in, and I found the cheapest handle of whiskey, and I walked up to the guy and I put it on the counter and I said, "Does this come in a case?" And he looked at me like I was an absolute idiot. He goes, "Half gallon of whiskey, does it come in a case? How many do you want?" And I was like, "I don't know, 6." And he goes, "Well, then go grab 5 more, you idiot." I don't know. Maybe it comes in a 12-pack somewhere, Matt. That guy didn't want to sell me even a 6-pack of it. So,
damn him.
Yeah, right? Look,
jerk, man.
I know. I'm trying to have fun here. My ID says I'm legal to be in here. Ring it up, liquor boy. I'd promise I didn't have that kind of attitude when I was 21, all right? Just blissfully ignorant, put it that way.
I don't know, man. I could kind of see that coming out there.
Depends on the day.
Yeah,
really.
well, if I were to, I'd be a liar if I told you my mouth hasn't written some checks my ass can't cash, you guys. I think you know that about me by now.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So have I.
All right, Donut. So what's your Thanksgiving going to look like? We got Matt renting out a hall with 40 people. That's a damn big one. How many people are you going to be welcoming? What are you doing for food? Where are you going to be at?
Holy cow. Well, this year, like many years, I'm on the road unless they decide otherwise randomly. We make sure to keep an extra turkey in the freezer just in case I'm home. Usually, it's usually pretty small, around 10 people, more or less.
Okay.
And
So-
I do most of the cooking.
Right, that's what I was going to say. You're in charge of most of it, if I remember from talking to you. I think it was last year. So what's the menu going to be? You've got the extra frozen turkey there. Obviously, that's going to show up. What else you putting on the table?
Oh, we usually do much the same: mashed potatoes, candied yams. I do some special stuff with my food that not everybody does. We were talking about trying to smoke a turkey this year, but probably not.
I did that a couple years back. And if you're listening to this right now and you're diabetic, I would probably just tune this part out because I don't think that there's any way to make this diabetic friendly. But when I smoked a turkey on a Traeger a couple years ago, I melted, I don't know, like 1.5 pounds of butter, and I put probably 1 pound of maple syrup into it. And I started injecting that turkey every which way that I could. That thing was so swollen up, it looked like it'd done 4 rounds with Tyson by the time I put it on the smoker. But let me tell you, aside from the caloric intake that you're hitting with that much butter and that much maple syrup, that's the best damn turkey I've ever had. And so, that's what I would tell you. A smoked turkey can go bad in so many ways. But I found that if you just pump it full of butter and maple syrup, it pretty much stays all right. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'll tell you guys, it turned out really, really good.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I candied a turkey is the way to look at it. That's what I did. I smoked a candied turkey. So what's got you kind of against smoking the turkey this year, Donut?
I've never done it before. So it's just something new, and it's something I'd like to do when I'm not, trying to feed multiple people. When it's just my family on the off season, I'd like to give it a shot.
Okay. So
when I do stuff for the holidays, I don't like to do new recipes.
No, I get that, man. That's inviting tragedy in the door on Thanksgiving. You don't want to do that. So are you just in the oven guy, or do you deep fry it? How do you normally cook your turkey?
In the oven. But I can keep a good eye on it. The last thing I needed at Thanksgiving is to be like, all right, everybody, it looks like we're having takeout. I lit the turkey on fire.
I think we've all been there. Ever since deep frying the turkey became kind of a fad, I'm pretty sure everybody's ruined at least one. I've seen some fires. The videos online this time of year are a lot of fun to watch how stupid some people are, putting a fully frozen bird into a 350-degree tub of oil, just stuff like that that's really fun. So we don't want anybody to, lose any digits or anything. This isn't the 4th of July, right?
I was very nearly impaled by somebody's flying turkey once.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Okay, we're here for the story. Let's hear it.
Yeah, bring it as a tape. This is going to get carved out. We got to hear this.
Okay, so neighbor did exactly what you were talking about, fully frozen turkey in a deep fryer, and the thing just decided that instead of exploding in the deep fryer, it was going to launch towards the apartment building I lived in. I happened to be sitting on the patio, and I stood up half a second, not even realizing what was happening. I stood up and heard, "Look out!" as the turkey collided with our concrete steps in front of the apartment, right where I had been. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
That's a trip to the emergency room that, what do they hear in the emergency room on Thanksgiving? It's probably some crazy stuff about getting burned or, maybe getting cut when you're trying to carve it. But impaled by a flying frozen turkey has got to be something that they've not seen in too many ERs. How big was this bird? A frozen turkey hitting you, it was a 20-pounder, so it would have taken you out. That would have broken some bones.
Yeah, I'm seeing that turkey from the Money Pit with Tom Hanks.
That's too good. I forgot about that one. God damn. So what did your, I gotta, okay, good on him to yell heads up, but what was the conversation when he came over to retrieve what was left of his bird?
He was very confused when I told him I almost felt like a black court vampire. It comes from a book series that I love, the Dresden Files.
Okay.
There's a scene where a vampire is impaled by a turkey falling out of an airplane.
So it's not beyond the realm of imagination, is what we found out about this story.
Wow. Well, in that book, it was due to black magic, but yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay. Well,
I read, guys.
I'm glad that you made it out of that one okay. We didn't know we had bogeys in the air, but we had bogeys in the air that Thanksgiving.
I've had turkeys attack me, usually before they're frozen.
Right. No, because they're kind of bastards, all right? I think turkeys are onto it. I especially think they know what goes on this time of year. They're kind of like the elk population, like a couple months a year, they just go ahead and try to disappear. But, that's really tough on a butterball ranch.
Right.
All right. So, Matt, I wonder, now, I would be surprised if you ever had an almost impaled by a flying turkey story, but with the size of the get-togethers at your Thanksgiving family gatherings, I gotta figure there's been something crazy that's happened one year or another. Do you got any crazy stories from the family get-togethers?
I would, except I end up getting drunk and I don't remember them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the honest to God's truth is no. I really, we've had a couple of food fights. I I put some potatoes in my sister's face, but it's just a really good time. Anything that's, everybody's, in a good mood. So it's just kind of free for all. If something happens, it's unscripted, and well, I'm usually behind it.
So are you the starter of the food fights? I just imagine everybody's having a peaceful dinner and somebody gets bonked on the head with the King's Hawaiian roll and it's on.
Oh, yeah. If you can't have a little bit of fun, my mom told me you're not supposed to play with your food, but
that's all you do.
I'm just not going to listen to her. I'm just not going to listen to her at this point in time,
Yeah, you've made a pretty good second income or second living out of playing with your food, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's just a lot of fun. If I ever get a flying turkey story, I'm calling Duncan right away so we can clarify this, because this whole flying turkey thing has got me bent.
Yeah, I sit here trying to put it together in my head. I'm guessing he dropped it in and it just exploded and kind of went straight up, kind of parabolic, or was it a thing where the violence of the shaking caused it to turn and fall and turn into like a cannon where it fired it right at you, Donut? What was the case?
That is exactly what happened.
Wow. So you were black marked on that Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was just like I'm sitting there minding my own business. All of a sudden, turkey mortar.
And Did anybody happen to yell duck at that time? I mean, that's a bad play on words, but duck, it's a turkey.
They yelled.
Just look out.
Yeah, they yelled turducken, I think was what it was.
Turducken.
That's amazing. I mean, did it change when I don't know if you guys do this, but sometimes at our Thanksgivings we'll have the tradition where you go around the table and say what you're thankful for. Were you thankful that year for getting missed by a turkey projectile? Did that make it into the roster of things you were thankful for?
I certainly was thankful, and no, we haven't traditionally done anything like that. That's but I should have.
Well, I'm sure you did that night when you said your prayers before bed, like, "Dear baby Jesus, thank you for not hitting me with the frozen flying turkey covered in hot oil." I mean, that thing is, it's just.
If I'd have been hip, I'd have been running around screaming, "Help me, Tom Cruise! Help me!"
Oh, that's great. That's great, man. Well, so it's come to that time now, I think, where I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about sides. You guys have said that things are really traditional. And actually, before we get to ranking our first sides, I wanted to run this by you, gentlemen, because you both enjoy your time in the kitchen. You're both really good cooks. And I've got a little bit of, I won't call it a dilemma. I'm really excited about it this year, but it's going to be a very small Thanksgiving get-together for my wife and I. I've been doing a lot of traveling for work. I just went back home for that elk hunt, so we're not going to make the trip back over to my parents' house this year. And I think it's just going to be my wife and I and maybe one other person that we're welcoming because he just lost his mom and doesn't really have a place to be. I'm kind of thinking that I might buck the tradition of turkey this year, guys. I've got some antelope and some elk meat, and I'm really thinking that I might want to do more of a red meat Thanksgiving. What are your thoughts on that from these two guys that spend a lot of time in the kitchen and are responsible for making people happy in one way or another on Thanksgiving? Donut, do you have any ideas for me on what maybe I could do with some of this meat? What do you think about a game meat Thanksgiving?
That sounds good to me. If you want to try to stick to something that kind of gives it a traditional flair, a sweeter saucing. Either as a dipping sauce or even if you're smoking it. I don't know how you're preparing it. I'd probably go with the smoking and a sweeter barbecue sauce. I kind of make it myself at home. So
yeah, I was thinking I have an section of antelope backstrap that's still whole, and I was thinking about smoking that. And then you kind of end up cutting it into medallions. And I normally do some sort of pan sauce with it because I'll either sear it before or after. Probably before, to be honest with you. But yeah, like something sweet there. Maybe something with, I could do something like a berry, like some kind of berry barbecue sauce or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm liking where you're going. Kleich, what's cooking around in your head right now as I talk game meat Thanksgiving? I know you got some ideas for me.
I'm all for it. I think for the smaller group size that you're doing, the big turkey, the ham tradition might be out of bounds. But I would do like some roasted potatoes, some of the small potatoes roasted in the oven, smash them down, put a little cube of butter on them, serve them up with that backstrap. You could smoke that backstrap, or you could oven do that backstrap, kind of like you would do you'd do a prime rib.
Yep.
And just serve it up. Get your veggies. Doesn't have to be anything too extraordinary, but I think the roasted potatoes would go perfect with that.
Yeah, they really would.
With like a basil roasted potato, something like that. Maybe some chives on there to bring out that little smashed potato. It'd be really good with that backstrap.
Yeah, I think you guys have set me on a course here. I am going to make the best non-traditional Thanksgiving I think I've ever had this year. I can already tell. I'm thinking. I was thinking about making some jerky too, just to have deviled eggs and jerky, like deviled eggs and elk jerky for the starters. You guys big deviled eggs guys on Thanksgiving?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big deviled egg guy on a Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm a Duncan on this, and I'm a big deviled egg guy any day.
Any day of the week. Any day of the week. I get it. Well, I think you guys are setting me up here. I'm kind of thinking too that maybe not. I don't know. When I think about the potatoes, like I love a good mashed potato. I've really perfected my mashed potatoes over the last couple of years. But Matt, I think about you making mashed potatoes for 40. I did mashed potatoes for a dozen people, and putting them through the potato ricer and running them through a sieve almost gave me carpal tunnel. And that was like for half as many people as you're going to be making them for. So I kind of like that roasted potato idea. It kind of takes the risks out of the game.
Yeah. You just take them little ones, like the little whites or the little yellows,
Mm-hmm.
and then just put them in the oven and bake them through a little bit, or boil them down and then put them in the oven, pull them out, smash them down, season them up, let them bake till they're crisp. You're good to go. One pan, one done. That's it. You don't have a lot to worry about.
I'm going to gain weight just talking about this stuff, I can tell, because I will be putting a pat of butter on every single one of those potatoes, just like you recommended, to get that nice crispness out of it. So, okay, all right. You guys have set me on a course here.
Do your veggie skewers on the grill. If you're going to have that smoker going, go ahead and bring them veggie skewers out,
I must have made a mistake and convinced you that I was going to be serving vegetables somewhere at this gathering.
Good. Veggie skewers are. Well, you don't like. Are you one of the kids you didn't eat your veggies?
It was a fight, man. I'm much better now that I've kind of, since I got in the kitchen and started learning how to make things in a way that I would actually eat them. That's when I started more eating my vegetables. But no, dude, at one point in time, I remember in my childhood, and my mom will be listening to this and she will laugh, but she was trying to get me to eat peas when I was a kid, and she had a big old spoonful of them, and I hated peas. And she had the spoon and was kind of putting it in my face, and she turned to say something to my dad, and I grabbed the spoon and put the peas in her mouth when she was talking. Whew. Last time I ever did that, it got a laugh out of Dad, but that was a very short-lived giggle fit, because Mom was none too happy. I don't think she liked her peas either, if I'm being honest, and that's why we're in this boat to begin with. So yeah, it was. Right. I was one of those guys, but I'm better at it now. I used to not really enjoy the green bean casserole that everybody makes over Thanksgiving, but dude, I will eat my weight in that shit now. I love those little crispy onions and the cream of mushroom soup. It all goes together well. I was a real picky eater as a kid, man. I wouldn't eat oranges when I was young. I wouldn't eat. I just didn't like them. I didn't like them. All right, I told you off the jump there, Sam was going to call us up, and he just got in, so apologize for the little pause in the action there. But let's welcome Sam Walker onto the show. Sam, happy Thanksgiving, man. Appreciate you joining us today. Glad you were able to get in here, albeit just a few minutes late.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys.
Thank you. We might as well dump you right into the conversation here. We've already heard about how Donut almost got hit by a flying frozen turkey. We've talked about the fact that Matt is going to be renting out a hall and cooking for some 40 people. What's Thanksgiving looking like at the Walker residence this year, Sam?
We all go over to Mom and Dad's. We live in the same town. My whole family lives in the same town of Gibbon, a little town of 1,500. But I always do all the meat. I'm gonna smoke the turkey, and I'm doing a Wagyu brisket this year.
Wow. Okay, Wagyu brisket. How much did that set you back?
127.
That's not
So
bad.
No, it's a lot cheaper than what people think. And as far as I used to smoke in competitions, and as far as the quality that you get after a 16 or 17 hour smoke is unmatched.
I guess so, man. I've never had Wagyu brisket before, but you might end up, don't tell me where you're doing Thanksgiving, because you might end up with a podcast host sitting at the end of the table, all right? I can get out there. That sounds amazing.
More than welcome.
Now, I'm wondering, Sam, if you'll kind of talk through the way that you go about smoking, because before you got here, Donut was talking about he wants to try smoking a turkey, but he doesn't want to do it on Thanksgiving because he's never done it before. Any tips or tricks that you can offer up for those of us that have never smoked a turkey before?
Oh, it's simple. I don't brine mine. I inject the night before, and I leave my turkey out for at least 12 to 15 hours before I ever smoke it. So that way it's nice and room temperature. Mm-hmm. But I basically just use butter, and I use 2 sticks of butter and 3 or 4 teaspoons of honey, and I use a little bit of chicken stock, and then I put in some hot sauce, whatever you like. I usually use Tabasco. Go easy on that, and then I inject it all over and let it sit overnight, and then I throw it on, and it's about 30 minutes a pound. So you have a 15, or I think here, let's just do it easy. It's a 10-hour turkey. It's about 5 hours. So
Sure. Okay, well, I'm happy to hear that from somebody with a lot of turkey smoking experience, because I was just telling the guys before you got here, Sam, that I injected the only turkey I've ever smoked with so much butter and maple syrup that it was a war crime against people with diabetes, and I didn't know how it was going to turn out. It was a total gamble for me. While it was basically a candied turkey, by the time it was done, it was delicious. I don't want to know what I did to the years at the end of my life after I ate so much of that thing, but damn, it was good.
Yeah, smoking and deep fat frying is the only way to cook a turkey. And then make sure, the most important thing is, don't cut that thing for at least 40 to 45 minutes. Let it rest. You gotta throw some tin foil over it, tint it, and let it rest. And the same thing with the brisket. Put it in a cooler, let it rest for at least 2 hours. Okay. Wrap it up in butcher paper, and make sure you let that sucker rest.
Sure. Patience is the name of the game.
Exactly. Yeah, you've got to let those juices redistribute throughout the meat. So.
Okay. All right. So Kleich, I wonder, did you know that Sam used to smoke in competition here? That kind of sounds like you guys are out ripping Marlboros on a patio somewhere. But did you know that he used to be a competition smoker?
No, I had no idea. Never met the gentleman, so I have no idea about it. No.
Well, here we go. Matt meets Sam. Matt also has a competition background, and he towed a smoker right up to the 3rd annual Liquid Trucking Employee Jamboree and was out there at 3 a.m. smoking. So I feel like you guys need to sit down together and have a chat, and then I can come reap the benefits the next time I'm out in Omaha.
Right?
I get that a lot. Sam, I thought you do too.
Right? Yeah, I get all kinds of, what are you cooking today, Sam? From across from the neighbors. But there's nothing better than on a football Saturday to put something on the smoker and throw a few beers back and wait for the game to start.
Amen to that.
My problem is I put something on the smoker and I throw a few beers back. I forget about the smoker and keep drinking the beers.
That's why you like the better, the lower, the slower, the better.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, and if you're doing a 16 or 17-hour cook, you better go with like some Michelob Ultra or something that's barely got booze in it, so you can put a lot of them back and still be sentient at the end.
Right, exactly.
I can tell you this much: from the very first time I started smoking till this very day, I have never done anything more than an 8-hour smoke on anything.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And is that because you get?
If I got to smoke, if I have to smoke it for that long, I'm wasting a lot of time with the meat. That's just it's a personal preference. It's all it is.
Well,
That's
and it's an
it is.
8-hour window.
Personal preference.
It's an 8-hour window that he can drink and still see well enough to run the smoker, I think is what we found here. That's your...
I don't think you needed to say that, but all right. But yeah, I just, and I'm and he's probably got a lot of experience with the brisket. My brother Monty does too. I'm just not a big beef fan. I've always done game or bird or pig, that's kind of my birthday is chicken and pork,
Okay.
Right on.
So
just 8 hours. 8 hours on a brisket's just not enough to break down the connective tissue.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so...
And a lot of guys, they'll smoke, like ribs. I go 3-2-1. I've used that policy my whole life. 3 hours smoke it, 2 hours wrapped, and then 1 hour basting.
Yep, and I do a 3 hour, and that's it. 3 and
Yeah.
Okay, so Matt doesn't like to flirt with his meat a lot. Matt doesn't like to, not a lot of foreplay here. Let's get in here and get this thing done.
We did 36 racks of ribs in 6 hours up there that day at the Jamboree. So if that tells you anything.
There you go. That's good.
I'll tell you what this is telling me is that next year we can have Matt and your crew, and then we can get Sam and his crew, and we can have ribs and chicken and brisket. That's what I'm feeling.
There you go.
Putting that bug in everybody's ear right now, because my ass plans to be back out there again. I ain't missing another one, even if there is no podcast. You're just gonna see me show up at the Jamboree. That's all there is to it.
There you go. Yeah.
just for you, I did buy a 120 quart seafood pot.
Oh, very nice. That is good because you know that I got to get in a different state before I can eat shrimp because of my wife's allergy. So. You talking about a seafood boil, man? Pour it out and give me a bib. I'm there.
Yeah, we used to do those a lot. Cream cans.
I love it. So
set it on an open fire and let it go.
Let me ask you this, Sam. This is a question you didn't get to answer quite yet. How many people are you going to be cooking for?
There will be right around 18 of us.
Wow.
So it's just the immediate family, the kids, and then we have a couple people that are in the considered family that come over. So
you guys got some good size. I mean, Donut's got 10, 12. You've got 18 to 20. Matt's got 40. Just kind of zooming out here and looking at it, that's nearly 100 people that are getting fed just by 3 dudes that we're talking to today. That's pretty cool. Nearly 100. It's over 50, and so that might as well be 100 by my math. I don't know how you guys are doing it.
Round up.
Sam, I want to ask you this because like I said, I just want to catch you up here to get through some of the things that Donut and Kleich and I have already talked about. Donut told a story about almost getting hit by a frozen turkey that his neighbor put in a deep fryer that tipped over and just cannon launched it right at his front porch as it exploded. I'm wondering, you got any wild stories that have happened on Thanksgiving? Anybody end up in the ER, blown up bird, anything like that?
God, no. I don't have anything exciting.
Well, that's good. I'm not saying that's a bad thing because Matt does have Donut has a traumatic memory of almost getting shot by a turkey. So, I mean, it's...
The worst thing I did was I boiled the oil over on the turkey, but I had cardboard down, so it wasn't that big a deal. It didn't catch fire or anything. So
okay.
Other than that, yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Not much to say about it. That's right.
I'm okay with it. If you didn't end up in the emergency room in Thanksgiving, I'm happy there. Okay, well, now I think we can move forward here to what we were about to jump into right before you called, Sam, and I'm glad you're here for this because this could be the knockdown, drag-out part of the show. What I want to do here is I want you to rank your top 3 must-have sides for Thanksgiving. And when I say this, I'm thinking like, let's say you're going over to somebody else's house for Thanksgiving one year, and if they don't have these on the table, your day might not be ruined, but it's not going to be as good as it could have been, okay? So think about it from that standpoint. Donut, I want to start with you here, dude. What are 3 things that have to be on the plate, no questions asked at Thanksgiving?
You have to have mashed potatoes and gravy. That's just a given. If you're doing a group meal, regardless of it's family, friends, whatever, and you don't have mashed potatoes and gravy, I'm leaving. Just plain and simple.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because that's exactly why I wanted to have this discussion. Let's say that you ended up at my house for my game meat Thanksgiving, and I served you the crispy, smashed mini potatoes that Matt so eloquently gave us the recipe for. Are you leaving?
Ooh, that's a tough one. You may have found an exception.
Okay. I found that one exception, but it's a non-traditional Thanksgiving at my house this year, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Okay, so mashed potatoes and gravy. I'm with you there. What's next?
I've never had a Thanksgiving without a green bean casserole. I can't get it as good as my nanny's, but I try.
Yep, and you'll never get it as good as your nanny's because you just don't have that little bit of extra love to put in it. That's a nanny thing.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. I have followed her recipes to the T, but I also learned to cook from her, so I know full well she didn't.
Yeah, man. Look, I get it. I gave you guys, this has been probably 6 months ago on the show, I gave you guys a pasta salad recipe, cold pasta salad recipe that my mom's made my entire life. And I follow the recipe to a T. I've got it written down. And I think what it is it doesn't taste the same because of where I'm eating it. It's not the same because I'm not sitting at that table. I'm not sitting on that deck, you know. But again, it could be operator error. That wouldn't surprise me at all. All right. So green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, and gravy. We're really coming out here with the heavy hitters. What's the third and final one for you, Donut?
We do cornbread stuffing.
Cornbread stuffing. Interesting. Okay, so how do you make that different? Obviously, you're not stuffing a bunch of cornbread up into the bird.
No, it's basically dried and dehydrated or dried, depending on how you want to do it. Cornbread made into cornbread croutons, and then darn near everything else, the spicing and everything is almost the same as any other stuffing.
Okay, so the cornbread's just making up the bread element then.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's just something about the flavor of cornbread. It makes everything else pop to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys love your corn out there, man. There's no getting around it, and you guys have done some amazing things. I kind of wondering if either Sam or Kleich here is going to call out a side dish that I thought was very popular out there in the Midwest. Kleich, we'll go to you next to have you rank your top 3 sides, man. What are 3 sides that you're going to be disappointed if they're not there?
You know, it's funny because some people call it stuffing, and where I'm from, we call it dressing. It's the same thing, but my mom's dressing. If it's not there, I don't know if I want to be there. You know, the stuffing, the dressing, whatever you want to call it, I got to have it.
Yeah.
That's just, set right alongside the mashed potatoes, which is perfect. That's my second. And my third, I mean, I don't know, maybe Duncan was in my head. I don't know, but green bean casserole.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it, man. 3, and you guys are having very traditional Thanksgivings this year, and those are the 3 traditional sides you got to have. Now, I will ask you this. I used to be a kid that wouldn't let anything on my plate touch, right? Keep a line between all of it. I don't want flavors to blend. Until that first day that I accidentally hit my stuffing with some mashed potatoes and gravy, I pretty much just mix that shit together now. I don't know about you guys, but just wad it all up into a big gluey pile. Is that how you are?
Yeah. I got to tell you, you want to talk about a funny story. My son-in-law, Zephyr, I love this kid, but, he's a healthy eater. He's a big boy. He's a good kid, and he can eat. But when he gets his Thanksgiving plate, he starts out with a layer of potatoes and then stacks on top of it.
Wow. Now that
the
is
craziest thing
I
love
like
when he
that.
does it.
I like that. Layer some gravy between each layer. That doesn't sound like a bad
Oh,
day at
yeah.
all.
No, and he can eat. He'll do 2 or 3 of them plates, and then he naps hours.
I like this kid, man. That sounds like a good Thanksgiving right there. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
like
he's
Thanksgiving
like a good
lasagna.
touch.
Yeah, Thanksgiving lasagna. That's actually, you know what we did, and this is something that I'll tell you. I think I shared this before on a previous episode, but a lot of times we'll end up with a home football game, either the Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we were trying to figure out what we're going to make at the tailgate. And my wife always liked to make little wontons out at the tailgate. She would stuff them with, buffalo chicken or whatever. She made Thanksgiving wontons one year. It was unbelievable. She just took a little bit of stuffing, little mashed potato, little turkey, and a little gravy with some cranberry sauce. Folded those things up, gave them a quick deep fry. One of the best side dishes you'll ever have at a tailgate post-Thanksgiving. I tell you that much right now. Now you're thinking about it, aren't you? You're like, I've never done wontons before, but I'll give it a try.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, man. A little bit of herbed cream cheese too to maybe dip those in. Oh God, it was so good. But Sam, I don't want to leave you out here, man. 3 sides that cannot be left out for your perfect Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm with everybody. Mashed potatoes and gravy is probably my favorite. I love turkey gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Green bean casserole, my wife makes it. It's delish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have corn. We call it cornbread casserole. And this stuff was so good. When my daughter got married, we had Whiskey River Steakhouse cater the wedding. Well, I said, I'm going to bring my cornbread casserole. Well, he tried it and pitched the cornbread casserole to the owners of Whiskey River, and they wanted to put it in their restaurants.
Really? Did you sell them the recipe?
Yeah, we did not. My mom said, no, that's a family recipe. We're not doing it. They didn't offer enough to do it anyway, so. But anyway, I'm going to give the recipe real quick. It's super simple, and it's delicious.
Okay.
It's two boxes of cornbread mix, 2 eggs, everything's 2s, 2 sticks of butter, melted, of course.
Mm-hmm.
1 can of cream corn, 1 can of regular corn, don't drain them, and 1 16-ounce deal of sour cream. Mix it all up and bake it. It is the best thing on earth.
That sounds really good, man. You guys in your corn out there, you just know how to work it.
Yeah, that's going with some chili. I can tell it right now.
Oh, God, yeah, with some chili, some cheese. I mean, you could eat that in all sorts of different settings. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cornbread casserole, a new one. See, what I was waiting for one of you guys to say is that corn pudding was going to be a must-have, because in some of these before, when I've talked to drivers, especially from the Midwest, corn pudding is something that is 100% on every table out there.
That's basically what cornbread casserole is corn pudding, because it's real soft on the inside, and then it's got the crusty
goodness on the outside. Okay, all right.
Yes.
I like it. What donut, Kleich, what are your guys' takes on corn pudding? Yes or no?
Yes.
Donut?
I'll eat anything as long as it doesn't run away.
Or try to kill you before you actually get it cooked, like your frozen turkey that your neighbor had, right?
I should tell you about me deer hunting with my dad once. I still ate that thing.
Yeah, but it tried to kill you. That's we understand. You don't have to tell that story. We know about it, right? It's great, man.
Well, my dad's hunting methods are the part of the story.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Good. All the food sounds good.
Yeah, let's save the hunting story for our next hunting episode, because I got stiffed on the last hunting episode and nobody joined me. I had to call a biologist and talk to him. So I want you to save that one for a hunting episode, because we're going to do another one for sure. I'll tell you guys the truth here. I'm going to rank my sides. You mashed potatoes and gravy, you got it. It's 100% got to be there. I am a big green bean casserole guy. We said that already, but I feel like it's kind of just piling on at this point. So I'm going to tell you what really sets a good Thanksgiving dinner apart for me. And that's the rolls, man. Like my mom, my mom's got those rolls out proofing in the morning. They're sitting on the counter, room temperature swelling up. and then she bakes them. They get that golden brown, and then she wipes a little bit of butter across the top of them and lets that soak in. I remember Thanksgivings as a kid sitting there with my mom's homemade strawberry jam and just a plate full of rolls and just trying to get as many of those in my body as I could. If you don't have a real good roll, I might be a little bit disappointed at Thanksgiving. And the other thing that I kind of want, you guys, and you can call me crazy for this, I like a good cranberry sauce that's made by like a chef. My mother-in-law makes one with like these mandarin oranges, and it's really good. But, dude, I kind of want to slick a gelatinous glob out of a can and slice it like I'm at a soup kitchen.
Yep.
I don't know what it is about that stuff, but it's so good. And I kind of like the weird shape that it comes out in. I'm okay with that. Put that on the table. Don't slice it. Let it sit there and jiggle for me for just a second.
You talk about that canned cranberry sauce. I like it on my turkey. I'm just like you. But if you take and get regular pulped orange juice and put a cup or two of orange juice in a saucepan and warm that up, it makes all the difference in the world. It takes that tinny taste, it takes it completely out of it, and it still have it.
Okay.
So just warm it up in orange juice. Yep.
I didn't know that. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Sam. I kind of like the tinny taste. I think that's part of it. Is like the microplastics and the forever chemicals are part of the experience,
Right? Yeah, I got you.
But that's a good idea. Full pulp orange juice there. Okay, fellas. Well, listen, I greatly appreciate the time here. I've kept you on here longer than I planned to, save for Sam. And Sam, really glad that you were able to join us here for the last bit. The part about this particular episode here, we always give time for final thoughts, but I figured because it's Thanksgiving, these final thoughts would probably be a little bit special. So want to give you guys a chance to shout out anybody, share any Thanksgiving messages with your family or anybody that might be listening that you'd like to. Kleich, we're going to go ahead and start with you, my friend. Final thoughts for us here on this Thanksgiving episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Just going to tell everybody happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for everybody that I've got to meet this last year, and spend time with. I'm grateful for my job, and I truly am blessed. Sam, I'm glad I got to meet you. Can't wait till we get into a competition together.
You're going down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's probably because I'm drunk, but that's neither here nor there. Right? But just grateful for everybody, and I can't say enough about like my woman, Tina. We've been through hell this last year. We lost 2 dogs in 15 months, and so we're just going to keep pushing. And guys, the drivers out here that keep this world going. Very grateful for all the truck drivers out here. So keep the dirty side down. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Well said, Matt. And I know it's very tough on you to lose the 2 dogs over the last year, man. And we're sorry and thinking about you, of course. In fact, I remember the day I spoke to you that day, and just hope that you guys can gather around that big group of family and really enjoy each other this year, and greatly appreciate all that you have given this podcast. You come on here a lot, and it's just we're forever grateful for you, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours this year.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you. Donut, you're the next one, man. Final thoughts here on our Thanksgiving special.
It's kind of the same, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And, especially to the other drivers like me who are going to be out here on the road. Like, thanks for doing it. I know our families at home that we wouldn't have the stuff for Thanksgiving if it wasn't for all of the drivers and reefer trailers and stuff that's still pushing through the holiday instead of being at home.
Yep. Absolutely. Well said there, Dona. And another guy that comes on this podcast all the time without question, just like Kleich, appreciate all the time you've given us here, man. We're very thankful to have you out there, and just hope that no airborne turkeys make their way into this year's Thanksgiving celebration, because if it did happen, you're going to be in the cab of your truck. And I know that trucks have hit turkeys out there on the road before. So let's just thank our lucky stars that nobody's going to be deep frying one close to you. And hopefully none of them decide to try to cross the road right at windshield height when you're out there driving this year. Okay. Thanks, Donut. Always appreciate the time, man. Sam, final thoughts from you here on this Thanksgiving special on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. You're up, buddy.
Yeah, hey, I want to echo, just say thanks to all the truckers and the people that I've met. I've only been with Liquid Trucking for a year, but the culture is one of family more than I'm used to. So that I like. Also, before you put that first bite in your mouth, make sure you say a prayer to the good Lord, because everything we get and everything we have comes through Him, no matter how you slice it. So, but other than that, I want everybody to keep the rubber down. Make sure you thank the woman at home that keeps everything put together, does your clothes when you come home, and make sure you have at least 3 days worth of really good food so you're ready to get back home when you get there. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and this has been fun. I appreciate it.
Hey, Sam, very well said from you, man. Thank you. Really been enjoying your additions here to the podcast as of late, and you're welcome back anytime. And may I also suggest just a little caveat to what you said. Make sure you got 3 days worth of food left over there for the cab of the truck. Make sure you also got 3 changes of clean underwear, okay? Because we're eating leftovers here, and you never know what might happen. Keep that food cold. Practice all that food safety. Matt Kleich, Michael Donut, Duncan, and Sam Walker, you guys have been awesome today. Happy Thanksgiving to all 3 of you. Thank you so much for being here on our Thanksgiving special. And as always, be safe out there, okay, fellas?
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
Always love it when we get some drivers on to tell Thanksgiving stories, talk about traditions, talk about recipes. Man, my mouth is just watering after talking about all those sides. I can't wait to eat my fill tomorrow. And you betcha some of these drivers we just talked to are going to be doing the same. Those of you that are out there on the road during Thanksgiving, we just hats off to you. Appreciate everything that you do, not only for the company, but for the country and your families as well. So, this part of the show is always a part of the show where I want to bring you something that you can make in the cab. You can make this at home too. In fact, I just made it a couple of nights ago for the wife and I. It's super easy, it's cheap, and you might already have most of the ingredients you need for it. And look, I'll be honest with you, it's not going to be the most traditional Thanksgiving side dish, but if you make this as like maybe you could even make this as a dip if you wanted to, but it's basically something that you could set next to the deviled eggs before the actual Thanksgiving comes out, and trust me, people are going to love the shit out of it, okay? So what I'm doing for you here is an elote. Mexican street corn is also another way that you will recognize this. Now, a lot of the food trucks and the local Mexican places around here that I can get elote will take an ear of corn and they will grill it, okay? And that's where you get that little bit of charred corn that comes in as a huge flavor note in this dish. Here's what you're going to need, okay? Not canned corn, because I tried this with canned corn and I could not get the canned corn to sear the way I wanted it to. It's just too wet. So what I want you to do is go get a bag of frozen corn and just let it thaw out, okay? And then, drain any liquid off of it. After that, you're going to want to take your hot plate there and just a pan with nothing in it. You don't need butter. You don't need oil. Throw that frozen corn in there at like over a medium heat and just brown it off. Just keep moving it around until you've got a little bit of that char on there. Take that out of the pan and set it aside. Next thing you need, sour cream and mayo, equal parts, okay? It's going to depend on how much of this you want to make. If you're going for like a big group, I would say a half a cup of mayo, a half a cup of sour cream, and maybe 2 or 3 bags of corn probably feed 15 to 20 people, no problem. So you've got your frozen corn, you've got your mayo and your sour cream. Next thing you need is some cotija cheese. Cotija, if you like to pronounce the J in it. I don't know how to say it right, so I'll say it both ways for everybody listening. It's that crumbly, salty, white Mexican cheese, and you can get it at pretty much, I mean, I can buy it at Fred Meyer, Kroger's here, Safeway, Albertsons, whatever you've got where you are. You can find it. It crumbles up really nice. You're going to want to crumble up probably about half as much cheese as you put in mayo and sour cream, but it's up to you, dude. I love this cheese, and I will eat handfuls of it at a time, so I use a lot of the cheese. The next thing you want to do, salt and pepper to taste, and a tiny bit of chili powder if you have it. Now, this is the one thing that you might not have unless you're a fan of it, in which you probably have a huge shaker of it, but that is the seasoning Tajin. It is spelled Tajin. It comes in kind of a skinny, tall bottle with a white cap, and it's got like a green, red, and white logo on it. It is a seasoning you find, like a lot of Mexican food restaurants that I go to will actually have a Tajin rimmed margarita. It's kind of a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet. It's got some lime in it for some tang. Trust me, it sets this elote apart, okay? Hammer it with some Tajin, mix that all in real good. Once everything's really well incorporated, the corn, the sour cream, mayo, the cheese, and the Tajin, then you're going to want to sprinkle a little bit of Tajin on the top, okay? Trust me. Little tiny bit of lime juice in here as well to taste. Mix that all together, then sprinkle your Tajin on the top. If you want to, you can garnish this with the abomination that is cilantro, okay? I have not had a dish that cilantro has not ruined in my life because I am one of those people that cilantro tastes like soap to. So I can't put it in anything because it'll ruin it. However, traditionally, you're going to find some cilantro as a garnish on your elote or your Mexican street corn, whatever you want to call it. It's not my bag, but hey, you can throw it in there. There's also a lot of other things you could put in. I've seen diced red onion in this. If you like a diced raw red onion, I'll tell you, it's intense. The other thing I've seen people put into this is fresh jalapeno, but I would recommend a pickled jalapeno going into this for a little bit of that heat, but not too much. Another thing you can add to it, about a tablespoon of sriracha in there, kicks up the heat. If you like the heat, cayenne pepper and even more chili powder. You can have a lot of fun with this dish, okay? But I will tell you right now, make sure you get a small spoon when you go to eat your first bite of it, because if you have a big spoon, you will eat the whole bowl. It's amazing. You can serve it warm, you can serve it cold. I put it in the refrigerator the last time I had it and found myself midnight snack up just polishing off the bowl in the middle of the night. Not one of my proudest moments, but hey, that's what I share with you here on this podcast. That's why we're a big, happy family. You get those parts of Marcus, whether you like them or not. I would like to know if you're going to try this out. Make this street corn recipe. Make this elote recipe. Tell me what you think. This is a super easy way to do it, okay? If you really wanted to get crazy and you've got a grill and you're maybe grilling out in the parking lot, taking your 10 or your 34, grill some corn and shave it off the cob and do it that way. I think that the grill marks on the corn would probably provide even more flavor than just searing it off in the pan. But as I said, if you've got canned corn, you can use it. It's just not going to darken up as much as what the frozen stuff did unless you've got a way to dry it out without obliterating it. So, you know, but let me know. I know there are plenty of you out there listening to this right now that are far more skilled in the kitchen than I am, and I kind of want to see what you guys do with this. So, apologies for it being a non-traditional Thanksgiving recipe, but I'm excited for you guys to try this one. I'm betting that some of you guys are going to, and I'm going to get some text messages saying, bro, I just intook 2,000 calories of this Mexican street corn that you told us how to make. How do I stop myself? And we have not established a toll-free number for you to call for I ate too much street corn support yet, but we're getting on it. In the meantime, just go ahead and shoot me a text message. I'll be the best counselor I can for you. The least I can do after bringing you guys such a home run of a recipe that you can make right in the cab of your truck with no problem. All right, that pretty much does it for us on our Thanksgiving special. We talked traditions, we talked recipes, we talked our favorite sides, we talked almost getting shot by a turkey cannon. And of course, we brought you not just one recipe. Don't forget, you also got a cornbread casserole recipe there from Sam Walker. And Matt Kleich walked you through how to make some really good smashed potatoes as well. So we got you covered on this Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to the entire Liquid Trucking family. That goes from top to bottom. I want to say it to the guys out in the shop. I want to say it to the guys at the tank wash. I want to get Bartow in there on it. I want to get the entire office staff from every terminal in on it. Of course, all the drivers. Happy Thanksgiving. You guys are the reason that this thing goes, and we really enjoy celebrating these holidays with you. You guys always make it fun. If you ever have any idea of how you would like to hear your holiday special episodes go down, you can always email us, podcast@liquidtrucking.com. We would love to hear from you and take your ideas. And, you know, until next year, get fat and happy. We can worry about shaving the pounds off on January 1st when we all come in here with New Year's resolutions about being better people. For now, inject your turkey with pounds of butter and sugar, smoke it to your heart's content, deep fry it, put it in the oven. I don't care. Just eat. Just eat. Keep the shiny side up as well, and stay safe out there, Liquid Trucking. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at the Liquid Trucking Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in and being the gold standard of drivers on the road. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and tune in next week for another episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Interested in finding out more about what it takes to bring a podcast like the Liquid Trucking Podcast to your fleet? Bulldog provides tailor-made, top-to-bottom podcast production services. We'll meet your terminal staff, connect with your drivers, and bring you the content you want your drivers to hear. Type bulldog.works into your browser to connect with us and learn more about what we can do for your fleet. That's bulldog.works for podcasts, tenacious recruiting, and more.